Hi, I'm Christy Wilhelmi with GardenNerd.com, and today we are transplanting tomatoes out of their 2-inch cells and into 4-inch pots because they need a little bit more room, but they still need to grow a little bit before they're growing in the ground. So what I like to do is take out everything I need ahead of time and start with the 4-inch pot. And the first thing I do is poke a hole in the bottom of the pot because we're going to use a biodegradable pot that will eventually transplant straight into the ground. But this is going to sit directly on top of a capillary mat, so I need to make the hole a little bit bigger. So I'm poking the hole a little bit bigger so the water is going to be able to absorb right up through the bottom of the soil, which is where the plant roots need it most. The next thing I'm going to do is fill my pot with soil, just a little bit, not too much because I need to have room. Fill it about 1/4 of the way, and some of it will fall out that hole in the bottom, but that's all right. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take one of my transplants. So I have here, just pushing my finger up through the bottom because there's a hole for that. And this is a Henderson's Pink Ponderosa. I'm just going to tease the roots apart just a very little bit and then drop it in. And I'm going to take the tag out just for a moment. And right now it's right where I want it. Now, tomato plants you can definitely plant deeper than the soil level that they appear at in the cell, because tomatoes are unique in that they will form roots all along the stem if you bury them. So it's a great way to get really strong tomatoes by burying them a little bit deeper than when they started growing. So I'm firming the soil just a little bit, but I'm going to let watering do the trick. So let's talk about potting soil a little bit. You want to start with either a good transplant soil or a really good quality organic potting soil. This is one of my favorites. It's from Master Nursery Garden Center, and it's called Gardener's Gold. So I use this for transplanting all of my seedlings into bigger pots. And I also want to talk about this. This is called a cow pot. Cow pots are made from composted cow manure, which offer fertilizer and biodegradable material all in one. So you can plant this directly into the ground, and it'll break down and fertilize your plants at the same time, which is great. So no more plastic pots. So now that I've got all of my tomatoes transplanted into 4-inch cow pots, I'm going to water them to settle the soil and to give them a little bit of nutrients. I'm going to use a bit of kelp emulsion, which is a seaweed extract that's concentrated. I'm diluting it in a little bit of water in a watering can, and I'm going to water in the new transplants. And while I do that, I can tell you I'm growing a whole bunch of different varieties that are coastal tomatoes. They're supposed to do well in cold climates, like the Heinz H9129, Stoika, the Gold Dust. They're all varieties I haven't tried before, except for my favorites, Green Zebra and Stupichka. But then here's the Zeffin Short, that's a new one as well. So now that these are watered, they're going to drain a little bit, and I'm going to put them under the grow lights for their new home for the next couple of weeks. So after I've transplanted everything into 4-inch pots, it needs to go back under the grow lights. Now, this is my grow light system. It has 3 full spectrum fluorescent light bulbs underneath. And I've got this tray, the rubber tray, with a capillary mat inside. The capillary mat has been soaked in water and then wrung out, and it's laid out here, and I've cut it so that it's going to flip over into what will be our water reservoir. So the water's going to go in here, it will wick through the capillary mat and feed all of the plants from underneath. Kind of cool, huh? Talk about it. Okay, so now I'm just filling up the reservoir with water, and I'm going to start the wicking process by wetting that area a little bit more. And I'll probably have to fill this up every couple of days, depending on how hot it is. For the most part, it just wicks the water right out of the tray and under all of the seedlings. So I'm just going to take my seedlings and place them underneath. So you can see it's pretty easy to transplant your tomato seedlings into bigger pots and give them some more room to grow before they go in the ground. For more tidbits like this, visit GardenNerd.com.